You ever seen a cafeteria go dead silent? That's what happened the moment Madison Lewis stood up. Her tray shattered on the floor, and her hands trembling, not from fear, but from control. A few minutes earlier, 3 popular girls had thrown her onto the lunch table in front of everyone, laughing like they owned the school. But by the time the bell rang, those same girls were begging her for mercy. This isn't just a story about bullying, it's about the quietest girl in school, teaching the loudest ones a lesson they'll never forget, that it was Madison's second day at Brookdale High, new town. New school, same hope she always carried. Maybe this time, I'll just fit in. She was the kind of girl who always tried to stay invisible. Faded jeans, oversized hoodie, earphones always in. She'd been through enough schools to know that blending in was safer than being noticed. But Brookdale High had its own kind of chaos, loud hallways, confident cliques, and a trio everyone knew. Brooke, Jenna, and Haley. The 3 were untouchable, cheerleaders, influencers, and self-proclaimed queens of the calf. Madison didn't plan to cross their path, but fate doesn't always ask for permission. It was lunch break. Madison walked quietly to an empty table, tray shaking a little in her hands. She'd just unwrapped her sandwich when Brooke's voice cut through the room. Well, if it isn't the new mystery girl hiding in our cafeteria, Haley giggled. Ah, look at her eating alone already. Jenna smirked. Maybe she likes it. Losers usually do. The cafeteria laughed. Madison froze. She wanted to disappear. Brooke strutted over, her glossy hair bouncing. You can't just sit anywhere, sweetheart. That's our table, Madison whispered. There's no name on it. Brooke's eyes narrowed. What did you say? The laughter stopped. Everyone watched before Madison could move. Brooke shoved her shoulder hard. Madison stumbled back, her tray flying. Milk spilled. Her sandwich hit the floor. And then, as if it wasn't enough, Haley grabbed her wrist and pulled. Madison fell backward onto the lunch table with a crash, her backpack spilling open, notebooks scattering everywhere. Gasps filled the room. For a second, no one moved. Then laughter exploded. Madison's heart pounded, her face flushed with humiliation. She blinked hard, holding back tears, not because she was weak, but because she was angry. And that anger had a story behind it. She took a slow, steady breath and whispered to herself, not again. Brooke crossed her arms smugly. Welcome to Brookdale, new girl. But Madison, the quiet transfer student no one knew, had spent 2 years training in mixed martial arts. After the last school she went to left her broken inside. And this time, she wasn't letting anyone break her again. The cafeteria was still buzzing. Phones were recording. The bullies laughed until Madison sat up, wiped her hands, and calmly stood. Everyone expected tears. But what they got was a calm, terrifying silence. Madison looked Brooke dead in the eyes and said, "You should have stopped when you had the chance." The laughter died instantly. Brooke scoffed. "Excuse me." Madison stepped closer. "Slow, deliberate." "I said, stop." Before Brooke could respond, Haley reached out to shove her again, but Madison sidestepped, grabbed Haley's wrist, and flipped her hand backward in one swift motion. The cafeteria gasped as Haley yelped in shock. Stumbling into a chair, Jenna tried to intervene, but Madison's reflexes were faster. She swept her foot behind Jenna's ankle, making her trip onto the very table they had thrown Madison onto minutes earlier. Madison didn't punch, didn't hurt. She only defended. But her precision, her control, it stunned everyone. Brooke froze, her arrogance slipping away. "What are you, some kind of fighter?" Madison stared her down. "No, just someone who got tired of being your practice target." Teachers rushed in. The cafeteria erupted, but no one saw Madison cry. No one saw her yell. She simply picked up her backpack, dusted off her clothes, and said quietly, "Respect is earned, not demanded." Later that day, the bullies were called to the office. The video of the incident had already gone viral on the school's private social feed. By evening, half the school was whispering Madison's name, not with laughter, but admiration. The next day, something unexpected happened. When Madison entered the cafeteria, the same table she'd been humiliated on was empty. Brooke, Jenna, and Haley were sitting quietly at another table, avoiding her eyes, and one by one, people who had laughed at her came up, just to say hi. It wasn't instant friendship, but it was a start. As Madison sat down, she smiled softly to herself, not because she won, but because she didn't let them take her peace this time. For the first time in a long while, she felt free. She took a bite of her sandwich and looked up as a girl across from her said shyly, "Hey, can I sit with you?" Madison nodded. "Sure." The cafeteria noise returned, but this time, it wasn't against her. And from that day on, Madison Lewis wasn't just the new girl. She was the girl who taught everyone that silence isn't weakness, it's power, waiting for the right moment to speak. If this story moved you, remember, strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply stands back up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to SH Stories, where every story reminds you of the power that lives inside you.